If you just bought a WRX or STI and you picked up one of these things, a Cobb AccessPort, then this video is for you. I will not be taking a deep dive into tuning or the parameters found on the AccessPort. This is just a comprehensive starter guide to get you going. My goal in this video is to break down a complicated subject and present it to you at an easier and digestible level. So if any of the information presented to you guys today in this video helped you at all, maybe consider leaving the video a like. And for more content like this, make sure to hit subscribe. This is the Cobb V3 AccessPort that's included in the box or packaging. You have the up button, the down button, the enter or OK button in the center, and the leftmost button and the smallest button is the back button here, which we'll talk about more of those functions once we actually get into the car. Now on the side of the AccessPort here is a micro USB port. You'll connect it to a program which you can download on Cobb's website called AccessPort Manager. That lets you manage the AccessPort as far as updating the firmware on the AccessPort, keeping it up to date, as well as transferring files on or off the AccessPort to a locally saved destination on your computer. Also included with the Cobb AccessPort is a cable. This goes to the OBD2 port found on the driver's side footwell, and this end goes to the bottom of the AccessPort here. But this is everything that's included when you purchase a Cobb V3 AccessPort. Before we go any further, we need to talk about what the AccessPort actually does because a lot of people misunderstand this part. And while this section might be a little bit more long-winded, I promise every single piece of information in this section is going to be worth your time. Think of the AccessPort kind of like a translator. It allows the car to communicate information to you. Your car already knows what it's doing, it just doesn't speak human, unfortunately. It's kind of like being in a foreign country where you don't necessarily understand the language being said. The translator doesn't tell the people what to do, it just helps you understand what's being said. The ECU or the ECM, which is the car's computer, is constantly talking, and the AccessPort is the tool we use to turn that information into something readable. Now, when you talk about an AccessPort, you're often going to hear this term called flashing a map. Well, before we talk about flashing anything, we need to understand what a map actually is. You can think of a map as a set of rules that tells the car exactly how to run. It tells it how much fuel to use, how much air to use, how much boost to run, and how conservative or aggressive the car should be running. Now, when discussing maps, there are two different types of maps. You have your custom maps that are often given by your tuner, whether that be visiting a dyno or an e-tuner. And the second type of map is known as a Cobb OTS map, which is referred to off the shelf. Now, Cobb OTS maps, off the shelf maps, are specific maps that are shipped out when you buy an AccessPort that come included with this device that you can flash onto your car. However, just know those maps require a specific combination of parts that Cobb prescribes on their website. It depends on the different stages of the car, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, etc. We can talk about that in a future video if you guys are interested, but just know the Cobb OTS maps are maps that are preloaded on the AccessPort, whereas custom maps like I have are found when you go visit a tuner and they set up specific parameters for your own custom setup. Now back to the coolest feature of this whole freaking thing is the ability to see live data. The data that's presented on the AccessPort is data that you're seeing in real time. That is the car actively communicating to you. Just like your car has gauges to tell you how fast you're going, how much fuel you have in the tank, the AccessPort is just another tool to give you more information about your current conditions in the car. And because this video is just a general overview, I will not be covering what I personally monitor on my AccessPort and my 2017 STI. If you guys are interested, I will be doing a future video doing an in-depth breakdown on a lot of the parameters that I personally find important and that I run on a day-to-day basis. Another great feature of the Cobb AccessPort is a way to data log. Data logging is a way to record the data that's being actively monitored and or displayed to you via the Cobb AccessPort. You would data log when you have issues with your car, drivability, fuel trims, boost, etc. This is often given to your tuner. It's a way for the tuner to help you diagnose and potentially solve the issues you're experiencing with your car without having them actively or physically being there. And while we're kind of discussing the troubleshooting and data logging side of things with the Cobb AccessPort, another great feature which I have used many times before in the past is the ability to check the the check engine lights that you have on the Cobb AccessPort. It tells you what the codes are, very similar to an OBD2 scanner that you would find at an auto parts store. This device also lets you to reset and clear the ECU of any codes, so that's always a great plus. And one last thing I want to mention before we actually get into the installation as well as the use of this AccessPort in my 2017 STI is the fact that just remember, at the end of the day, the AccessPort is just a tool. The AccessPort is not a device that's going to inherently hurt the car, and inversely true, it's not a device that's going to necessarily save the car in an event of a catastrophic failure. You can think of the Cobb AccessPort kind of like a fitness tracker. It shows you your calories, your macronutrients like carbs, fats, and proteins, and other information like that. But at the end of the day, you still have to be the one to make the smart decisions. So with that being said, let's go hop into the car and set this thing up. A quick but important disclaimer that I have to mention when doing anything with the Cobb AccessPort and the vehicle, as far as changing maps or flashing or installing this thing, make sure your battery is hooked up to a battery tender, because in the event that the battery loses power or this loses communication with the ECU, you may potentially brick the car's ECU, and that would be a really bad day. Now, have I personally ever done that? No. Have I ever experienced that? No. But just be warned, it may be possible and it may happen to you. We will turn the key to the on position. It'll do its thing. Once that cable is plugged in, we'll grab the other end that goes to the AccessPort and plug that into here. Make sure it's fully seated. You'll see the default AccessPort logo with white and red text. You'll see a picture of your vehicle, which for this case, it's gonna be an STI. And then just something that tells me that there's updates. Great. If it's your first time installing the AccessPort, you're going to have to marry the device to the actual car. It's exactly what it sounds like. This is going to pair this specific device to that ECU. Once it's married, it can only be unmarried by the user that installs it. So just know that if you are buying a used AccessPort. You're gonna see two icons on this main screen. There's gonna be a similar icon that's green and white that's going to say install, and there's going to be an AccessPort icon with a red X similar to this that's going to say uninstall. In this case, if it's your first time, you're gonna hit the install button and then go through the instructions on the screen. If at any point on the screen during the installation it looks frozen, I promise you it's not. It's perfectly normal. Just be patient. By default, it's probably going to take you to this screen, which is the gauge screen, but we're not going to start there. We're going to hit the back button, which is the small little left button here. We're going to hit it once, and then we're going to start all the way up here. We're going to hit the up button twice. We're going to start with the help icon here. This is just going to tell you general information about the AccessPort. We're going to go down one. We're going to hit the setup. This is going to help you set up the AccessPort in the way that you want it. We're going to hit the enter button once, and now you can see there are three options within this actual little subfolder or sub menu. There's the auto on/off settings. This is going to set up the AccessPort to automatically turn on and turn off with your engine. You can change the units. You can change it to imperial or metric, just depending on what you want. And you can also reset the default settings on the AccessPort here. We're not going to do any of those. We're just going to hit the back button again. Just wanted to show you guys. Now we're going to go down one. We're going to go to the gauges. This will help you monitor your vehicle gauges as well as data logging. So we're going to hit the enter button once, and this is the default screen. You have 4 gauges and you have 2 gauges with a bar. You can change the amount of gauges that you can have by hitting the up arrow from here, and you hit it again and you go to the setup here. You're going to hit the middle button to hit enter. And then you can change the gauge layout by hitting the up arrow twice. You can have it to show 1 gauge, 2 gauge, 3 gauge, 4 gauges, all the way up to 6 gauges, which is what I personally run. You can also change the configuration of your shift light, which tells you at what point to shift, which will be displayed up and down the screen or in some other type of configuration. And you can also change the units as well as configure data logging to select which monitors to data log, since most tuners don't care for all the monitors. They only want to see specific monitors. Next, we're going to go talk about the performance icon. This is going to help you measure the acceleration performance of your vehicle. We'll hit enter, and this will help you track 0 to 60 times and quarter-mile times, which, to be honest with you guys, I've never done so with the AccessPort. I mean, nowadays people do that with the Dragy. I think the Dragy is a far more capable and a lot more robust device than the AccessPort when it comes to monitoring times. So we're not going to discuss that in this video. The next important section, which I talked about on the workbench, is the troubleshooting aspect. This will help you diagnose and troubleshoot your vehicle. So we'll hit the enter button just to show you guys the options. At the very top, we will go to IM readiness. This will read the emission readiness test status of your vehicle. The next option is going to be identify vehicle. It basically identifies the year, make, and model of the vehicle, which I don't know why they have it, but it's a cool feature. Next is reading codes. It reads the active trouble codes or check engine lights from your module, or from the ECU rather. And then lastly, you can reset the ECU. So it will reset learning as well as clear codes from the ECU. One thing I should mention about resetting the ECU on a Subaru, for whatever reason, no other car does this. When you clear the codes and reset the ECU, I've often found when you turn the key and try to start the car again, it will crank over for something like 10 seconds. Don't freak out if that ever happens. It's perfectly normal. I'm not sure why that is on the Subaru platform. So we'll back out of this and we'll go to the next one, which is going to be the tune. This is where you can make adjustments to the ECU, the map, etc. The first tab is the adjustments. This is what I was just saying, adjust ECU settings. We'll hit enter. So you can adjust the idle, you can adjust the timing, the flat foot shifting here, launch control. This is something I personally never messed with. I've always left this up to my tuner, since I always go and visit my tuner and he dials me in. So we'll go back. And then we'll talk about change ECU map. We'll hit enter. There are two different options when it comes to reflashing your ECU. There's a reflash and a real time. The difference is that the reflash, if you lose power, that map remains on the ECU. That's what you want. And if you do real time, it only has that map active for as long as you have the car on, because every time you turn the car off, it's going to reset back to the previous map. And then we'll go to restore OTS maps. That basically restores the Cobb off-the-shelf maps if I want to. This next one is going to say show current map, which if you hit enter will tell you what map you're currently on. Right now I'm on Alberto, Cat, Speed Density Precision 37 PSI Flex Final. That is just telling me what the car is currently tuned on for that map. So again, we'll hit the back button, not the black button, which I guess it is black. But we'll go back again. And that is pretty much all the options there. And the last option is going to be the uninstall option, which I kind of touched upon. It just uninstalls the access port from this vehicle specifically. It unmarries the access port from this car. So if I ever decided to sell the access port because I'm going to a standalone ECU, etc., or just selling the car outright, I would just hit uninstall, and then I can sell this access port with all the maps and everything that I have on the car to somebody else. And I just want to quickly say to the people that are just getting into the platform and it's their first access port, if you're like myself back in the day, I was trying to monitor every little thing. I was stressing about every little incremental change. Don't, trust me, put that anxiety port in the glove box most of the time. As long as the car is driving right, idling okay, and you're not hearing any weird or audible noises coming from the engine bay, etc., the car is going to be all right. Now, if you're interested in learning about what makes these cars reliable and what I've done in the past to make sure my cars stay reliable as possible, feel free to check out my YouTube video I dropped on my channel where I talked about what I've done to make the 700 wheel horsepower STI as reliable as possible, as well as my other Subarus that I've previously owned. So that's the Cobb AccessPort in a nutshell. It's not something you need to overthink or stress about. Just remember, the Cobb AccessPort is nothing more than a tool, and it's a tool that helps the car communicate to you. It tells you if the car is experiencing any weird issues, if it doesn't feel right, and it lets you choose how the car behaves. If you're new to the platform, this is really all you need to get started, even in 2026 with so many different options as far as tuning software goes. In my opinion, I think Cobb is still one of the fastest and most convenient ways to tune your WRX or STI. In future videos, I'm going to be doing a deep dive into monitors, data logging, as well as other features I didn't necessarily go into depth here in this video. So if you're interested in that, make sure to hit subscribe and let me know what your favorite thing of the AccessPort is, or what software you use to tune your Subaru in the comment section down below. Until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next one.